Hmm. Yeah, it's really interesting. There's a lot of compartmentalization in work and ideas, and did when you look at the very, very basics of a lot of society, a lot of people, a lot of humanity, a lot of people are no different from robots. You put the program in and they perform a specific set of actions. And outside of those actions, the people don't really understand what to do or how the world works. And if you don't have the right programs in your mind, you can't perform the right kinds of actions. And this is very true for people. Um, and it's more true than people understand. But the idea of a computer is the best way to understand it. That the computer will only do what you tell it to do. And the human mind
Yeah.
is very much the same. The mind will only do what you tell it to do. Now, there's also a question of ability, which is experience, which is repetition, and that you need some experience with activities, and you can take something from one area and put it in another area. But most people can't perform those tasks. Most people are completely unable to perform those tasks, and everything is backwards. In society,
Mm.
everything is backwards, right? We because we all have a job to do, and we're all under pressure, and we think if as long as we do our job, everything is okay. But life is a complex series of, or it's a complex structure of different activities linked together, and all of them need to be done well. Um, for example, selecting a good and healthy lunch um, matters in the long term. It matters. You can have a bad meal every now and then, but if you have a bad meal every day, it's not going to have a positive outlook in the long term. And here, did you know that if you can, here's a strange fact. If you take McDonald's French fries, yeah, because they can't call them chips because they're not technically chips, okay? So, um, so if you take McDonald's French fries and you take a pack of cigarettes, did you know that McDonald's French fries are chemically are equivalent to 100 packets of cigarettes? Yeah, 100 packets of cigarettes. There are more chemicals in one packet of McDonald's French fries than there are in 100 packets of cigarettes. That's a fact. Yeah. So given the choice between smoking 100 packets of cigarettes and one packet of French fries from McDonald's, it's actually healthier to smoke 100 packets of cigarettes. People, people don't understand the 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 true nature of all of the elements of fast food. Okay, here's something for you to do in your own time, right? In your own time, take your phone and type into Google microplastics in food. Microplastics in food. 4 words. Yeah. Now, I was talking with my son about healthy eating, and I said, take your phone and type in microplastics in food. He typed in microplastics in food. Google says at the top of the search, in a normal week when if people in a normal week buy 2 portions of fast food in 1 week, they are consuming 200 particles of plastic in that, because fast food is full of microparticles of plastic. Yeah. So it's basically eating fast food is like eating your computer. That's the comparison. Yeah. It's like eating your computer. Eating fast food is like eating your computer. And microplastics don't leave the body. They don't pass through the body. Once they go into the body, they stay in the body. And they don't ever come out. And so if you look at people and you wonder why are they still unhealthy? Why are they so fat and they can't lose weight? Well, you know, the answer is very, very simple, right? It's because you ate shit, right? And you are what you eat. And these little micro habits matter on a daily basis. And people don't realize it, but it all adds up at the end of the day. And the example of people not being able to order food in a fast food restaurant is an example of the degeneration of culture, because it really is just press a button, you know? It's just, they have the picture of the food and a number, and that's usually what they do. There's a picture of the food and a number and a button,
Yeah.
and you press the button. It can't be any easier. It can't be any simpler. Can't be done any simpler. It's a micro action. And if you can't do that, you can't really do much of anything at all, really, in life. If you can't make a good decision about that, if you can't solve that problem, that's an easy problem to solve, really. And but it's a compounded problem, because the problem is not why can't you buy food in the fast food restaurant. The problem is not why can't you press a button. The problem is, what the fuck are you doing there in the first place? That's the problem. Oh, and we're here because we're busy. Yeah, but, you know, stop at the supermarket and buy tangerines, apples, and bananas and leave them in your car and eat them, and guarantee your quality of life will be 1,000 times better. Don't feed yourself what you wouldn't feed your kids, right? Don't feed yourself what you wouldn't feed your kids. If you wouldn't give it to your kids, don't give it to yourself. That applies especially at this time of year. But society is backwards. Everything is backwards and everything is upside down. Let me give you an example. I was explaining this to somebody recently about how everything is backwards and everything is upside down. Somebody said he lies because he drinks. Okay? He lies. I was talking with somebody about an alcoholic. Okay? Someone that I know, right, who's an alcoholic. And somebody said he lies because he drinks. The opposite is true. He drinks because he lies. He drinks because he lies. Everything is backwards and everything is upside down. Yeah? Because you have to lie to yourself in order to put yourself in that position. And everything throughout society is backwards and upside down. School has to prepare you for your future, but you don't know what they need. Right? Oh, a broad variety of skills. Not really. Success in life is networking, just like success in business. If you don't know the right people in the right places, you won't get the right offers, and the right positions won't be available. It's all about information. It's all about the transfer of information. And so everything is backwards and everything is upside down. And you know what fast food restaurants are for? Fast food restaurants are for babies. They're for little children who don't know how to do things for themselves. And everything is plastic. The furniture is plastic. The tables are plastic. The people working there are plastic. I mean, you can see in the future that the people working in those restaurants will be replaced by robots. We are 5 to 10 years away from firing everybody in fast food restaurants and replacing them with robots. Because robots can do the job better. And let's face it, people want to be served by robots. Welcome to the modern world. People want to be served by robots. They don't want to be served by people because people are dirty. People have germs. People have diseases. And who wants to work in a fast food restaurant? Don't get me wrong. Jobs, work hard, do what you can, do what you must. I understand that situation. But, the large majority of the people working in do you know that if you work in a fast food restaurant, you don't make enough money to pay your bills? The average fast food worker does not make enough money to pay their bills working in a fast food restaurant. Now, if you work in a higher class dining restaurant, it might be a little bit different. Might be. Probably not, though, right? But you don't make enough money to pay your bills. Maybe if you're a manager, you can get by, but if you're an average worker, you can't. There's not enough money in that area. So an unhealthy environment as well. There's nothing wrong with taking a short part-time job in order to earn a little bit of money to do something, but it can't be a full-time occupation. It can't. There's no way that it's sustainable. And so the kind of people who are attracted to that kind of work, look, to be honest, do you think the owner of McDonald's really cares about the quality of food? Really? Really? No, it's profit, isn't it? It's money in the bank. It's all it is. It's money in the bank. It's a number. It's money in the bank at the end of the month so that you can pay your bills, live your life, and do the other things that you want to do in life. Do the other things. People run McDonald's so that they can go on holiday, not so that they can feed people quality food. People run McDonald's so that they can drive a nicer car or something else. It's got nothing to do with bringing quality into anybody's world. It's a sad reality. It didn't start like that at the beginning, but it's definitely turned into that. It's the lowest quality of food, and it's margins. It's profit margins, right? It's profit margins. Where can we make? The bread. Okay, so fast food restaurants can't call chips chips. They have to call them French fries because they're not actually technically. There's probably no potatoes in the food, right? Everything is prepackaged. Everything is pre-processed. The bread is not bread. Oh, have you seen those experiments where people take the McDonald's burger and they put it on a shelf, right? And they leave it there for like 10 years. People have done these experiments. They just leave it there for like 5-10 years and it's still the same. It doesn't decrease or degrade or, and what does that prove? It's not food. It's not actually food. Because normal food, you get bacteria, you get mold, it dies, it's like, oh my God, this is green shit on my food. It's bad. No, that's a good thing. It's a good thing when there's the green shit on your food because that means that it's actually food. Food that never dies is not actually food because food has a life cycle. It's just like human beings. If a human being didn't die, it wouldn't be a human being. Yeah. So it's the same with food. So we got to be super careful about what we drink and what we eat and how we take care of those elements of our life, especially with our children as well. And yeah, just Google microplastics in food, and that's why everyone's sick because they've got all this shit in them. They can't get out. Once you put plastic into your body, it's there forever. It doesn't come out. Something to be super careful about. Prepackaged meals. The McDonald's is not food. Burger King is not food. It's all about profit. It's all about profit margins. It's all illusion. It's not real. You put food in your stomach, you feel good for half an hour. Feelings. It's all about feelings, emotions, and those elements. And I care about the people around about me, and I want them to be healthy. And I want them to be strong, and I want them to have energy, and I want them to do the right things. And the business system is designed not to do that. It's when you're stuck in a car traveling between meetings and you're under pressure and you have to get up early and you get home late, and at the side of the road are fast food restaurants, it's convenient. There's a good word, convenient. It's easy in the moment. It's easy in the moment. But in the long term, it it doesn't work. It doesn't work so well. So and look, when I go to the local town here, on the way into the local town, there's a Burger King, there's a McDonald's, there's a Costa Coffee, there's a couple of other fast food chains. There's probably a KFC. I don't really know. I don't pay attention to these, but I do know there's always a queue of cars. There's always a queue. There's always a line of cars. There's always like 5 or 10 cars, going through this drive-through. And the fact that people will queue up and wait to fill themselves full of shit is unbelievable, in my opinion. And look, it's winter. We got to stay healthy. It's the hard time of the year. It's cold. Our bodies need energy. We got to fill ourselves full of as much vitamins and minerals as we can, and get sunlight. Get as much sunlight, which is the good thing about getting out and getting around and moving around places, because a lot of people are stuck in offices, which is not particularly healthy for them. But modern society's obsession with fast food is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Here's another thing. During COVID, the British government removed all genetically modified labels from foods. And after COVID, they never put the labels back. So there is nothing in British shops telling people if the food they're eating is a natural product or a genetically modified product. There's nothing. So when you go buy the fruit from the supermarket, you don't know. You don't know if it's natural fruit or if it's genetically modified fruit. And the genetically modified fruit is not as good as the natural fruit. So, I mean, that's just a little thing, but a big difference. We've got to make those healthy choices. And we've got to be informed about them as well. How do you do that? I don't know. Eat local. Yeah, buy local, eat local. Same with everything that we do. Buy from local producers, buy from local farms. Do what we can in that area of our lives, but it's an interesting observation that you make about people not being able to order food in McDonald's, because it really is. It's one of those. It's not difficult. Press the button, take the food. Press the button, take the food. Press the button, take the food. It's scientific design. Press the button, take the food. Yeah, and yeah, don't expect newsreaders on television to be smart people. It's just a robot. Here's the script. Read it. They're actors. They're all actors. They're all actors. Here, read this. Blah, 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 blah. And they read it. And they get paid for it. And they go home. They don't give it. They don't care. Is it true? They don't know. They don't know if it's true. Is it real? Did it happen? They don't know. But it's an ego trip, because they become well known. And everybody says, "Ooh, it's that person from the TV." "Ooh, it's that person from the TV." Ooh. And they're like famous because they know how to read. But it's acting. It's acting. It's all acting. Perhaps none of it is real. It's a script. It's like a film. It's like watching a film. Somebody writes it, and somebody checks it, and somebody gives it to somebody, and somebody reads it in front of a camera. It might or might not be real. I don't know. But don't be surprised to find important people doing stupid things. Because or well-known people doing stupid things, because it's part of the character of that.